Yo, what's up guys? Ganesh here, coming to you with another One Piece Southern Storm guide video. Today we're gonna be talking about the question that everyone has been asking about, which is how to get stronger in this game. Now I know a lot of you have been stuck around the 100k or 140k, something like that, and don't know how to proceed in the game, like how to get to 100k, 200k strength. Some of you might think this is only for like paying players or so, but it's actually everyone can get to over 200k without even paying a cent in the game. Of course, the paying players would actually find an easier way to get there, like faster than a free-to-play, but everyone still can get there. You just have to like put more effort in the game. So in this video, I will be talking about each and every element that affects your total strength and how to like get that element into your character so you can get over 200k strength in almost no time. Okay, so let's get started, and before we start I would like to say that this game is a card-based game. It's not a character-based game like One Piece Treasure Cruise. It's more like Naruto Cross Proto. If you ever played that, it's like you can get any character in the game easily. All the problem is in getting the good cards to use on these characters. So basically you can get any character from the item exchange center for like 5 diamonds, and they're so easy to get. If you have seen my beginner challenge video, you'll find the link in the description below. You'll understand how to get any character in the game. So I'll be linking that in the description. Now we start. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements in the game that actually affect your total strength. The characters, they don't really affect it that much, but we'll be talking about that later. Then there's the cards in general. Then we have the skills and special attacks levels, and then we have the type levels. And from here on, you might not know about this part, because if you are stuck at 140k, you probably did not touch this part of the game, which is the type level and the force level of the cards. Now we will be talking about each element of these alone, and if you like already advanced at some part and you don't need the explanation of that, you will find a timing for each part of this video in the description below. You can just click on that, or like if you're on mobile, you just skip to that part and start watching from there. Okay, so let's start with the characters. Okay, so a quick way to get any character in the game: you just click on menu here, you get to item exchange, you go to diamond exchange, and from character you can unlock any character you want by using only 5 diamonds here. After you buy that, you will have 3 medals for that character, which is enough to unlock it, and it will be only at 1 star. Then you will have to use Omni medals like these to get the character to up to 6 star, and then you can buy then the 7 star medal for that character and use it on that character to get it to 7 star. Now you can get also the Omni medals from limited quests for force events or fast events, I believe. Other than that, you can also get other copies for the same medal for the same character from their featured events. Now after you buy the 3 medals that unlock your character, you go to crew, you click characters, and here at the top you will find that you can unlock a new character, which is the one you bought. Now we are gonna be talking about the base strength for each character, which is 15k. It doesn't change with any star. 1 star is equal to 2 star, to 3 star, to 4 star, to 5 star, to 6 star, to even 7 star. They all have a base of 15,000. Except for one character, which is EX Whitebeard here, which you can get from the Storm Clash mode. and it's the base is 20k because it's an EX character, which has like an advantage over the other characters by more stats. Now, why are they all at 15k and they don't like advance with more stars? It's because they have the same stats, base stats. On every character has the same stats, and with more stars they don't get any extra stats, they just get more modifiers. If you can check here, you will see a rarity modifier, which is, for example, for the max HP it's 2.77. With more stars you can get over that. The EX character Whitebeard can go over, I believe, over 3 modifier for HP because like I said, EX characters have more advantage over the normal characters. One more thing that makes you want to evolve your characters to more stars is the fact that the more stars you have on the character, the more cards you can equip on that character. So if you see here, EXY Beard is at 4 star, it can only equip 8 cards. For all other characters that are 7 stars or even 6 stars, they can equip 10 cards. The difference between 6 star and 7 star doesn't really do much. It doesn't give you an extra card to equip there. It just gives you better modifier at the end. Now let's talk about the cards. In this game we have 4 different kinds of cards that you can equip to your character. Let's start with the stat cards. The stat cards are the main cards that give you a lot of stats that you can actually use to be modified later using the other multipliers like the type level or the force level or even the modifier from the character itself. So these cards actually have tiers just like anything else in the game, like the special attacks or the characters. If you want to know the tiers of these cards or the cards you have, what tier it is, you can just check the link in the description below. It will tell you which card is the best tier, second tier, third tier, or fourth tiers. So there's 4 tiers in the game, I believe, or 5, I can't really remember, but you will find there the best cards from top until the bottom. Now, how do you get these cards? You can get these cards from any kind of gacha in the game except for the gacha that comes in the fast event, because in the fast event you can only get special attack cards, which mean that you can get these at all. At least the 5-star version, you can get the 4-star versions, but most of the time you just want to pull the 5-star version that can go later up to 7-star. The 4-star can only go to 6-star, which is not very convenient considering that we are having harder content every day in the game now, and you want the best stats possible. So the other good way to get them is from the type gachas. Type gachas come once every month or 2, most likely 2. These are like themed gachas that you can pull for one type at a time. You get the first multi that guarantees 1 5-star card, maybe more. These, like I said, come once every 2 months or so, and you can just pull for the cards you are missing for the character with the specific type you still need on. You can also get stack cards from special events, like the fame events. Every fame event, the top prize is a stack card, a top tier stack card for a type that has the main character of the fame event or the celebrity event has. So, for example, we had Magellan as a celebrity event like a week ago. And the top prize was a fighter scene card, a top tier card. There's also other special events like the anniversary event where we got a tier 2 card for each type from different quests. So you can actually get them for free sometimes, but it depends on the event going on. Now if we talk about the second type of cards in the game, which is the special attack cards. The special attack cards are basically stat cards, but they have a special attack attached to them that you can use on the feature characters. You can see the characters that you can use the special attack on. At the very bottom, like here for example, you can see the 3 Luffys you can use that special attack on. So how do you get these special attacks? So you can get them from any kind of gacha that is featuring that special attack. For example, we have Koma and Ivankov right now. You can bowl for that banner and get the special attack for Koma or Ivankov, or even other special attacks that are not featured, but they have a very small chance to appear there. You can also get them for free from the Storm Clash mode. There is currently 2 characters that you can get free special attacks for them. They are, I believe, at level 15 or 15 and 23, I think. When you clear them, there is a full guide for the Storm Clash, and the link for the video is in the description below. You will find it there as well. You can also get these special attacks from the fast events, which is the best place to bowl for them. These are events that come once every 3 months. They have a collection of the best characters that came out through the 3 months before, and they have better rates to come out as a 5-star in the gacha. And the first multi is only 30 rainbow coins instead of 50 coins. You can also get the special attack cards from the celebrity events as rewards, progress rewards, as you can get one special attack for one of the featured characters in that celebrity event. Like for example, the next celebrity event is going to be Zoro and Usopp, and we will be able to get 3 versions of the 4-star card special attack for Usopp. So if you combine them together, you can get Usopp's EX special attack up to level 2.5. You can then bowl more for that special attack in the gacha and get it to even higher level. Now these special attack cards can also be used as stat cards, like for stats. You don't have to use them on the character to get the special attack. If you use them on another character that doesn't get or use that special attack, you will consider it as a stat card. And these cards are considered, the 5-star versions are considered a tier 3 stat cards. The 4-star versions of the special attack cards are considered, I believe, tier 4 or tier 5, can remember exactly, but they are the worst tier of the stat cards. You just normally use them only for the special attack, not for stats. But if you don't have good stat cards, you start the game. You've just started the game. You don't have a lot of cards. You can use them to get your characters strong until you get better cards like stat cards from different kind of gachas. Now comes the third kind of cards in the game, which is the skill cards. The skill card is basically a stat card that has a skill attached to it, and you can use that skill on the feature character. Like for example, here we have a skill for Poa, and you can use that skill only on Poa and her other costumes. Now we only have 3 versions for the skill cards in the game: the 2-star version, 3-star version, and the 4-star version. You can only get the 4-star version from the gachas that are featuring the character, or from other gachas that are featuring other characters, but they have like a very small chance. So for example, here we have the 4-star skill for Ivankov in the current gacha for his special attacks. So you have a chance to get the 4-star skill from there. As for the 3-star and the 2-star versions, you will have to go to the current featured events. There we go. So the 3-star version can be acquired as a first clear rewards. So if we check the first clear rewards here, you will find the 3-star version for one of his skills. All his other skills should also be here. This is for corner. Yes, this is one of the skills, and this is the new skill. This is the same skill you will find in the gacha, but the 3-star version. If you want to level this skill up, you will have to come here, or in any kind of in any type of quest, you will be able to play the skill. If you can check here the skill quest, you can just play this for the 2-star version of that skill. You can get multiple versions of the 2-star skill, and you can like enhance the 3-star or the 4-star version you have by these skills to get them up to level 10. So what if you bold a skill from the gacha that the featured event for that character is not on? There is, in every force event or a fast event, there is a limited time quest. You can farm here the hello cards. These hello cards can be used on any kind of skill in the game, and they can level them up. This is the 2-star version, gives 250 XP. The green version, which is 1-star version, gives only 100 XP, and you can use them again on any kind of skill in the game. Only skills, not special attacks. Now moving on to the last kind of cards in the game, which are the force cards. These are completely free cards. You can get them from every force event that comes to the game. There's other special events that give you these cards, but most of the time they only come in the force events. So we have 5 forces in the game, which are heart, body, speed, strength, and knowledge, I believe. Every time a force event comes on, we get a set of missions, limited time missions. If you clear them during the event, you can get two type of forces. For one force, you can get 4 copies of 4-star version of that force, and a 5-star version, only 1 copy of 5-star version of another force. So as soon as the event goes on, you will find in your missions tab, the limited one, you will find only 3 missions for 3 copies of the 4-star version of one of the forces, and midway through the event you get 2 more missions. One gives you the last copy of that force and the 5-star version of the other force. So the 5-star version is the most important one because that's the one you will use on your characters. The 4-star versions you use as dupes to get the force level up, and we will talk about this later when we start talking about the force level. By that, we are done talking about all the 4 main cards in the game. The only thing we are missing are the other enhancements, selling, and evolution cards, and we're going to talk about them now. So first you can sort the 4 main cards here. So if you take this only, you can see all the stack cards, only the stack cards. For skills, you have the skills here, special attacks, only special attacks will show up, and for force you only see the force cards. So we also have the enhancement cards. You can find here the food that you use to enhance your cards up to higher levels. Then you have the Korea cards here and Hello cards. Hello cards are used for leveling up any skill level. Korea cards like these are used to enhance any special attack level up. You can also find here the berry cards that you can sell for berries, of course. Then you have the evolution cards, and here you can use these to evolve your cards to higher rarity, of course. And now that we're done with the cards part, we will move on to the next part, which is the skills and the special attacks. We actually have been talking about them during the cards part, but what I didn't talk about is that one skill level or one special attack level up can actually raise your strength. Even though it doesn't actually add up any more stats, it just adds like the power to the skill or the special attack. Actually, on the opposite side, if your stats, like the attack stats, are high, it will push the power of the skill or the special attack up. So to sum it up, for the special attacks and the skills, you just need to enhance these cards with more versions of or copies of the same skill, the special attack cards. For skills, you can farm the skills from the featured events. For special attacks, you will have to bowl more unless it's a free special attack like the ones in the Storm Clash. You can just get them for free, or for rubies that you get for free from farming the Storm Clash from the item exchange center. But most of the time you just have to bowl more copies of the special attack from the gacha to get it to level up more. You can also use the Hello cards on the skills to get them to level up without having to use copies of the same skill. As for special attacks, you can use the Korea cards, and you can get the Korea cards, and talk about this. You can get the Korea cards from celebrity events as one of the top prizes, or from the Storm Clash. You can get them from first clears of, I believe, the quest number 20 and 25, maybe 30 as well, and later quests will have them as well, I think 35 and 40 as well. And you can also get Korea cards as like prizes for later special events. We will see how it goes then. Okay guys, let's move now to the type levels, which is the most important part of the game right now, because type level is basically an extra level that has been introduced to the game and has been added to every card in the game in one of the updates that came out 6 months ago. It pretty much gave a new parameter or multiplier to the characters from the cards that you equip with. So basically every card in the game has that type level, except for one kind of cards, which is the force cards. So force cards have their own parameters, have their own multipliers. They don't fall under the type levels. But every other card in the game, like the special attack cards here, for example, they have the type level. If you can see on the top right of the card, there's a level 8 and it's max here for fighter. This is the type level of the card. So special attack cards, skill cards, and also of course the stack cards, they all have that parameter or level. And since we have 5 types in the game, we also have 5 type levels in the game as well. So what is the effect of this type level? Okay, we're gonna see that in action here. Okay, so we're gonna try the type level thing on Shanks. And well, before we start trying his own type, I would like to show you that if you use another type, like for example, Shanks is a warrior. If we use this card as a fighter, and let's say okay, then we go back here and check the info. If you check here the red the report type bonus, it says X 1.0. It doesn't add anything. So basically you don't get any type level, like any bonus from the type level of another type. So you always want to use a card with the same type as the character. So yeah, that's why we always encourage people to use cards with the same type of the character over the cards with the better rarity or the better tier over the other cards from the other types that don't actually fit with the character. But of course, sometimes it's actually better to use like a 6-star card over a 4-star card that has the same type. So it's up to you. You have to like check the strength, the total strength that you get from these cards. So if we scroll here to the Shanks, Shanks is a tier 1 card. It's a warrior card as well. I mean, it fits with Shanks anyway. So that's what we're gonna try here. We have Shanks with level 1 type level and Shanks with level 8 type level. Level 8 is the max level for the 6-star card. There's even better level, which is level 10 for 7-star cards. But I only have here these two. So we are gonna try this first. So as you can see, it gives you 25,603 strength. If we try the one with level 8, we get 25,953, which is like 300 more strength. So it doesn't feel that much, right? But before we like explain more how is it better, I would just want to show you that even level 1 gives you an extra multiplier here. So this is level 1. As you can see in the type bonus part, you get all your stats multiplied by 1.005. It's not that much, but it still gives you multiplier, which is kind of better and has like a very small difference between that card that has the same type and the other card that doesn't have the same type. So going back to the Shanks here, so this is the one with level 1, this is the one with level 8. So let's say we have here all these cards, they are all type, they all have max type level, and they end up at 158k645. Then we are gonna try, we only have one card left, and we are gonna try both of them. One that has level 1 and one that has level 8. So that's basically a difference of 7 levels. And you will see the difference here in the strength. So a level 1 gets you to 174,918. Let's say it's 175. And the other one gives you 177,106. So that's like around 2,000 more. So basically it's like if you have more cards or more stats to multiply, you will get more strength. So there's a difference. Like if you have only one card, you only have stats from one card to multiply these stats. But if you have like 9 cards here, you multiply all their stats from using these levels, which gives you more stats and more strength in general. Okay, so let's see the final multiplier we get here from 10 cards that all have the same level of 8. That's level 80, maximum of level 80. And you can see here you get multiplication for all the stats by 1.54. That's exactly 54% more stats for all stats. More like 54% more HP, more attack, more SP, more defense, more elemental defense, everything. So if we change, okay, we're gonna have to go back. And this time we are gonna use the one with only level 1. And check again. So as you can see here in the type bonus, you get only 1.519. That's a difference of 0.02. It's not that big, but it still makes some difference. Like, I mean, at some point in the game when you get hit by a sniper and you end up with only like 50 HP or something like that, that's the 50 HP you get from these 7 extra levels. So there you go. I mean, this is like a quick explanation for the type level. If you want a better explanation, you would want to go to Wanted OPTS channel, and you have to check his video about the type level, which is actually a very detailed video. He has done it with Joy Boy Theories. If you know Joy Boy from his channel Joy Boy Theories, he does a lot of theories about One Piece. They're really cool. Like, you can just check them. You will really love them. So the video is right here. I will link the video in the description. So it's pretty much explains everything about T-level again in just 6 minutes with Joy Boy's voice. Now the only thing missing about type level that I haven't mentioned yet is how to level that type level. So this is a website that was made by Sweetie. She is one of the users on Discord server. She has done this website with help of other mods. This website has a lot of information. I will link this website in the description where you can check like a lot of stuff here, like the XP you get from food, the XP you need to level up skills or special attacks, the XP you get from different kinds of Korea cards or Halo cards. But what we need from here is the XP you get for type level to level it up. So basically you get the XP from only stat cards. You want to enhance the cards you have using stat cards. Don't use special attack cards, don't use skill cards, don't use force cards. You only need to use stat cards to level it up. So the 1 star and 2 star are pretty useless. They don't give you any XP, so just sell them. You don't really need them at all in the game. But starting from bronze cards, you get 10 XP, and of course it has to be the same type of that card. Like, you increase the type level of a warrior card using another warrior card. So a bronze card for a warrior card is will give you 10 XP, a silver card will give you 300 XP, a gold card will give you 1500 XP. And you can see here the levels, like from level 1 to level 2 you will need 300 XP, which is exactly the same value of a silver card or 30 bronze cards. You can see here until level 8, but I mean, this has not been updated for a long time, so there is 2 extra levels, level 9 and 10. I don't know exactly from level 8 until 9 how much that is, but from level 8 until 10 you need an extra 1350 XP. So basically from level 1 until level 10 you need a value of 4,500 XP. That's exactly a value of 3 gold cards. Now, do you really need to like pull for more stack cards to actually get this type level up? Actually not. I mean, yes and no at the same time, because since I mean, if you have noticed, we can use bronze cards here to level up the type level, and bronze cards can be farmed. Now, not every type can be farmed, or not every type has like the same rate in being dropped in quests or like stages as the other type. Some types have better rates, and like you will see people with characters that is some kind of type with a very high strength, and their other types are really low because you cannot farm all the type levels, sadly, from the game. But we are gonna talk about each type level and where you can get their skill, like stat cards from. Story mode. This is exactly where you want to farm to get the bronze stack cards to level up your type level. So we are only gonna be talking about the last 4 islands, because these are the only ones that actually drop 3-star cards. Let's start with Water 7. Water 7 is the most popular island of them all, because the drop rate for the fighter and the assassin there is very high. Like you can get like 100 cards of them in, I don't know, an hour. It's very easy to actually farm them, and the chance there for fighter and assassins are like 50-50, so you don't get more than the other. So if you have ever seen somebody on Discord saying that's farm Water 7, or they're looking for a group to farm Water 7, it's because of that. It's not only because of the type level. I mean, Water 7 is like the best place to farm also berries and food. So you always want to farm the last 2 quests, mostly the last quest, because everyone is playing the last quest. This is where you can get here the medals for Frankie, of course, his skills. I mean, these are useless, you don't use Frankie at all, but you can also get 3-star bronze foods, and you can get the 3-star bronze fighter cards and 3-star bronze assassin cards, and you can use these to enhance the type level of your assassins and fighters. And like I said, this is like the best island to farm type levels. You will see a lot of people in the game with a very high strength for their fighters and assassins. But for the other levels, for the other types like warriors, there's a chance that you can get the warrior type 3-star bronze cards from Alabasta, the last quest, of course, in hard, the last 2 actually, but if you have seen anyone play Alabasta, it's probably gonna be the last quest in hard. So here you get assassin cards as well, pretty good rate for assassin cards, and also you can get warrior cards, but it's not as good as the fighter and assassins in Water 7. The chance is like, if we say the chance there in Water 7 is common drop, here it's like rare drop for warriors. For Dressrosa, you can get assassins, and also you can get mid-range, but the drop rate for mid-range is, compared to the other 2, is very rare to the last islands. So you can get mid-range here, but you can like get 1 bronze cards every 20 runs, which is very rare and very hard to actually farm here. So it's like almost nobody farm the mid-range cards here. So if you want to farm this, like it's like the only reason I would see someone farm mid-range from here is if they like need 1 or 2 more cards to max their one of the type levels. But other than that, it's not worth it to waste time there, especially that you're gonna be playing alone and the runs are gonna take very long. As for Bank Hazard, it has the worst rate for sniper bronze cards, but they are there. Like you can farm them but it's like the restaurants are gonna do a lot of runs for only one card, so it's also not worth it. So what you want to farm here is Water 7, last quest, the hard quest, and to get as many fighter and assassin bronze cards as you can and enhance them into your best cards of fighter and assassin class. But let's ask another question, which is, what if you don't have good cards for assassins or fighters or any other type? Would you just like wait until you get one? Of course not. You can just farm them now. You can enhance them into each other. You can get their type level to, I mean, it doesn't have to be each other. Like you can, if you have a bad card, a 4-star card for fighters, for example, you can just enhance its type level, and later when you get a better card, like a tier 1 card or even a normal 5-star card, it doesn't matter which card it is, you can enhance that new card with the old card you've been leveling up. So every single XP in that card, that old card, will carry on to the new card, including the special attacks and the skills and skill cards. So if you want to like enhance your special attack cards and skill cards, you can also use the bronze cards, and you can use every card here on them, but you cannot use skill cards or special attack cards to get these levels up. That's what I mentioned at the beginning, but I also want to say it again here, because you can enhance them, but you cannot enhance with them. Okay, one last thing is the events here. Okay, so like in here you can get the fighter and warriors and assassins and maybe mid-range and snipers. What about supporters? And can you get like better rates for mid-range and snipers? Yes, you can. From the featured events that we get here, every featured event has a different kind or a different type of bronze cards that drop into these quests of this featured events. So for example, Coma here has you have the chance here to get fighter cards, which is actually pretty useless because you can get a better rate for them in Water 7, but on other feature events you will be able to get other types as well, like snipers, mid-range, and even supporters and warriors and all the other types. Of course, that applies for every kind of event, like force events, fame events, and even the fest events. Every new event has a different type that you can farm from any quest. It doesn't have to be like the hardest quest. Any quest can drop these 3-star bronze cards. And the limited time quests have, I mean, that's what people say. I never actually felt that change, but they say that the limited time quest for that event has better drop rate for the bronze cards. So there you go. That's exactly everything I know about type level, and that's actually what you need to know about type level. Okay, coming back here to the last part of the video, which is the last feature that affects your strength that has been released to the game like 4 or 5 months ago with the release of the first force event, which is the thing we're going to be talking about, which is the force cards. So force cards have something like type level, but it's only exclusive to them. So you can't find force levels anywhere else except for the force cards. So the force cards can be obtained from missions that come in every force event or some special events, but for now it's only force events for global. You can get them from clearing the missions that we get at the beginning of the event and midway through the event. These cards are not used as stat cards because their stats are very bad compared to any other card, even the special attack cards that we mentioned earlier, that they are considered tier 3 cards. These we would like not even put them in any tier because their stats are really terrible. If we ever put them in a tier, it will be the worst tier ever, even worse than tier 4. So okay, so let's go ahead and check the effect of the speed card or the speed level on our character. So this time we're going to be using Luffy. So we have here 9 Blackbeard cards. These are tier 1 cards with here max level of 8. It's not actually, like I mentioned, max level. There's 2 more levels, but as they are 6 stars, the max level for them is level 8. If we use a number 10 here, it's going to be a total strength of 177,000 strength. But what if we like change it to force cards? So before we see the effect, I want you to see the difference between the HP here. The HP here is like, not the HP, I mean the stats in general. We have here a stat of 718 HP and attack of 586. If we go and check out Blackbeard has 1025 HP and 828 attack. That's a lot more stats than the force cards have. So going back to the force cards, of course we have 5 forces in the game. Every character has a different force. You know, now that I think about it, I believe I made a mistake because there is 6 types in the game and 5 forces. I always mix that up. I mentioned that there's 5 types. There's actually 5. There's only 5 forces and 6 types. So the 5 forces are heart, body, speed, strength, and knowledge. Luffy here is under the heart force, so we're gonna be using one of the heart cards. So we have here one at level 6 and one at level 4. We're gonna start with level 4 first, and as you can see, the difference is very huge. It used to be 177,000 with all stat cards at max level, type level, but here when we used a force card with level 4, even though it has much less stats, it does give more stats at the end and strength. Let's try with the level 6. It goes even higher, of course. So as you can see, like the difference between level 6 and level 4 is like a lot. It's only 2 levels, but that's like 5,000 difference. So yeah, the reason why the stats go even higher is because let's confirm this first, then we go back here. So the last modifier or multiplier for the character is the force bonus. It's in blue here. As you can see, you get from one card only a multiplier of 1.139 just from 6 levels on one card. You can actually get the force level up to level 10 on a 7-star force card. So that's why it's like only one card and it gives a huge multiplier. I mean, you can say it's only like 1.139, but it actually affects all the multipliers over that. Even the type bonus, it affects the type bonus itself as well. So this is like the final multiplier of the characters. At first it starts with the normal base value, then the rarity modifier, then the actual scene card stats, and then type bonus affects everything above it, and then the force bonus affects everything above it, even the type bonus itself. So let's try one more thing to remove this and add the other force card as well. So as you can see, it actually the strength came down, which is because you see, even though the force bonus went up, the type bonus went down, and that made like the total strength or the total stats like go lower, which is the reason why it's the reason why you should not be always using a force card over stat over a type level, because I mean you have to like check every time you choose the cards over your character. But most of the time the force card goes over the stack card with type level, except that you will still have to find the balance that makes the most stats and the perfect strength for your character. And we will talk about this right now. So this is like everything about the force cards. Let's go ahead and like show you guys how you get the force cards real quick from force events. So we have right now a force event for Coma. Okay. If you click on the event info from the banner up, you it's how to play. Yep, it's in the how to play. In the how to play, you'll find this part about trying to challenge a boss quest and using the feature characters of that force event on the boss quest gives you a 4-star force card, and midway through the event you get a high or extreme difficulty raid quest, and by using also the two feature characters of that force event you clear the mission to get the 5-star force scene card. This is where you get your force cards. You cannot get force cards from anywhere else, not from gacha balls, not anything. Force cards are basically a free card you can get from force events. One last thing about the force cards that you get from the event, which is the fact that you can get 2 different forces from every event. You get only 1 5-star cards of one force and 4 copies of another force, and the 4-star cards are actually used to enhance the 5-star one. But of course, since we get 2 different forces in one event, you will have to keep these 4 copies of the 4-star version for another event that has a 5-star of that same force the 4-star ones has. So I mean basically the force events stack with each other. Like you can't use the 4-star cards you get from that event on the same 5-star card you get from the same event. You will have to wait for another event to enhance these 4-star cards for that one particular force into the 5-star you get from another event with that same particular force card, the 5-star force card. Okay, now let's finish up with the perfect combination for all the cards on your character to achieve the maximum or the best strength you can get, at least for global for now, because in Japan they have different stuff that actually depend the strength, the total strength depend on, so their perfect combination is actually different from us right now. I will be talking about this after this. So basically you want the special attack cards. Of course the special attack affects the strength. The skills of course affect the strengths, as well as the stats from the card itself affect the strength. Then you want to have 4 stack cards. Of course it's always better to use better tier cards, and it has to be the same type to get the bonus from the type level. Also, the skills and special attack cards has to have like the maximum of type level to get like the best multiplier. Then we have 3 force cards at max level, max force level. Now this one has only level 2. I just want to show you here how the perfect one would look like, but right now in global we don't have enough levels to get all 3 5-star cards of the same type to max level, but that's how the perfect combination would look like. At least that's how it looked like in Japan when they had enough to get 3 force cards to max level. So yeah, you can actually like change some stuff if you have, for example, if you don't have tier 1 cards, you can just use special attack cards that are in higher rarity. Like for example, I have here, okay, we'll still use that. You can use this, for example. As you can see, it got better stats because it's 7-star. Even though it's a special attack card, it's considered a tier 3. The other one was tier 1, but of course the rarity has a huge difference of stats. That's why you would choose this over the tier 1 cards there. And yeah, that's like the perfect combination for global right now. For Japan, it's different because they have the double special attack. Like in this part, you can equip 2 special attacks at the same time. So they use 2 special attack cards. Some people remove one of the skills, but most of the time you use both skills anyway. If you don't remove one of the skills and you want to use the 2 skills, it's gonna be 2 special attacks, 2 skills, and only 3 stack cards, and then 3 force cards for the perfect and the most efficient amount of strength on your character. So yeah, that's basically everything about the strength in global. At least if you came here from Japan, there's other stuff in Japan, of course, to increase your strength. I mean, the maximum strength we can get in global right now is probably 300,000. In Japan, they can get over 400,000 because they have, like I mentioned, the double special attack updates. They also have the training medals for the 7-star characters. We don't have that in global yet. They also are getting the 8-star medals, which is gonna change everything, and they will probably get higher and higher in strength. But this is everything we have in global so far. If we get any more updates, I will be making a video specifically for that update, for anything new. But for now, this is like I mentioned, everything about global. So guys, I really hope you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Any link that is needed to explain something, you will find them in the description below. If you need anything, like if you have any question, just ask. If you're not on the Discord server yet, you'll find the link for the Discord server. There you can ask any question. There's a lot of experienced players. We have over 2,000 players in the Discord right now. I mean, there isn't a lot of people active all the time, but you can still ask your questions there and they will be answered. Again, I hope you like this video, and I will see you guys on the next video. See ya.